Viewer, we want to thank you so much for choosing this channel to be able to catch up with what we are doing in Glory Outreach Assembly. So thank you very much for being a frequent visitor to this channel. And this is a very, very special one. This is a very, very special one. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it very much. And so that you know how important this one is and how you'll enjoy it, the panel here is myself, Bishop David Munyiri Thagana, and my wife, Reverend Joyce Jerry Munyiri. Our focus here is to help you, kind of educate you onto the processes of applying for a U.S. visa from Nairobi, how it all happens, and also the trip, how you travel, the experiences that you find there. And this will all be within our practical experience of the trip that we have just made in October, November 2023. So it's going to be exciting, it's going to be inspiring, it's going to be educative, it's going to be exciting, and I am sure you will love it. So let me just begin by allowing my panelist here to begin by introducing herself. Joyce, please introduce yourself fully to our audience.
Thank you. My name is Reverend Joyce Jerry Munyiri. I am with my husband here of 31 years. We are so grateful to God for having given us that time and the grace to live together, the grace to serve together for 32 years in Glory Outreach Assembly Ministry. It has been a great time. And having been together in the United States for 6 weeks was quite a good experience.
Well, before you go to the you go to the United States,
yes,
I think our viewer might be interested in knowing more about the family, children, grandchildren, and also how we could manage to be away for 6 weeks, yet with the family.
Yes, for that 1 year, God has blessed us with 3 biological children and an additional foster child who is now 20 years. Our firstborn is called Timothy, is now 30 years old, and has given us 2 granddaughters. We have Grace, who is the second born, and Grace is a mother of 2. Firstborn is a son and a daughter. So we are blessed to be grandparents or grandparents of 4, and we really thank God for that. Mary is our last born, and she's in the university doing law, and we are trusting God that she will complete her studies next year in the month of March. We are looking forward to her graduation. Keep her in prayers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, viewer, there you have it. This is a family that is empty nest. Empty nest. All of them have left the house and they have gone to their homes, except Mary, who has also gone to live in the university campus. So for us to be away for 6 weeks, there's nothing to think about back at home. So it's as easy as that. But then, Joyce, you also have a lot of responsibilities in the ministry. So how do you then manage to be away for 6 weeks?
It was not very hard because, having our children being grown up, actually even our foster son is also in college. He's 20 years old, so he's also out of the house. The reason why I was well settled for 6 weeks is because we do a lot of mentorship. we are able to bring up responsible young men and women. And in our absence, everything went on well because we have responsible people who are able to take care, especially in our house, which is, we call it the kingdom house, because it's meant for everyone from the ministry and even our partners outside the ministry. They always come, and we always make them feel like they are home away from their homes. And this happened, especially our daughter and our house manager, Pius. Our daughter Grace was quite responsible, taking care of everything in the house, taking care of the visitors who came along. We had even some coming to celebrate, like our pastor from Burundi, coming to celebrate in our house, coming with a team from Burundi when his daughter was graduating in medicine from Kem University. And they had a great celebration in our absence. They all took care of them. They fed them. They made sure they were comfortable in our house. We just got very good reports while we were away. And we were just seeing in the social media how they were comfortable in our house. And even when they went back, they kept giving us the feedback that they felt at home, even in our absence. We had even our partners from Switzerland coming in and going to the orphanages to take care of our children, then coming again to our home and feeling very comfortable, being taken care of by those people that we have mentored. We actually really thank God for the fruits that we see of responsible young men and women.
Very well, Joyce. Mentorship is key. And viewer, I think what my wife Joyce is saying here is that the years that we have invested in mentoring others, especially the next generation and the younger people, they are paying dividends in that they can still do things that we would do. Sometimes they do as we could do them. Sometimes they do them even better. And that is one of the greatest lessons that we have learned here. That sometimes it is good when you're mentoring people to give them space so that they too can think and be creative without necessarily having to look at you or wait for you to say, do it this way or do it that way. So mentorship has been very, very successful and is one of the reasons why we could afford to leave a ministry that has over 200 churches in Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, seven African countries. We could afford to leave a ministry that has 8 children's homes, 790 kids who have passed through our hands, and 352 of those in the homes. That's why we could afford to leave a ministry that is vibrant on a day-to-day peace building and conflict resolution, strengthening the families, and still that continued. And that is why we could afford to leave a ministry that is critical on leadership, because we have been practicing that in developing and raising leaders. So mentorship, investing in the next generation is so important. Actually, every year we do a leadership summit for all the leaders. At the first week of December, every year from 2022 2023, the first week of December is a week of mentorship where we bring leaders together as a summit to empower them for effective functioning in the ministry. So Joyce has said the main reason is mentorship, that we were able to be away for 6 weeks. I want to add a second reason, teamwork. Teamwork is the second reason why we could afford to be away for all that time. And nothing stops when we are away. We believe strongly in teamwork. That teamwork makes the dream work. And when we think of teamwork, we think of a teamwork as an acronym where T is together, E is everyone, A is achieves, and M is much. So together, everyone achieves much. So for us being away for 6 weeks, we have achieved so much as we'll be talking to you. And the people who are behind here, they too have achieved so much, even in our absence. So mentorship, teamwork, that is what has enabled us to be away for that very, very, very long time. Joyce, you represent peace building and family strengthening. You do a lot of counseling on a day-to-day basis. You do a lot of peace building events and many other things. Share with us how these were happening when you are not there.
Yeah, actually, because of what Bishop has just said, because of the teamwork, everything went on, even in my absence, because there were teams that were carrying out those activities that previously I was planning, and we have been doing together with my team members. So even when I was away, they were able to continue with what I was doing. For example, we had a program we call Ripen, where we prepare our children after completing primary school in readiness to join the high school. And these young boys and girls come over to our house. And for the boys, they take more days because we normally, in our culture, they normally go through an initiation time, that is circumcision. And then the girls come in later when the boys have healed. And then we take them through counseling. And in my absence, my daughter Grace that we work with took over the responsibility and was able to coordinate those who are supposed to come. She was able to coordinate with the counselors that are within the ministry, and also those who could give counsel in different areas like career, character, and the way of behavior, and also entry to high school and what is expected of them. We had even trained counselors like Reverend Mother, who is a pastor in our Naivasha church, and the wife to one of our bishops, that is Bishop Munyiri. And all this team was able to help these young people to prepare them to go to the high school, or preparing them for the high school life and the expectation of the way they are supposed to behave in high school. Then we also had some peace, that was cultural celebration that was held in one of the areas that is prone to conflicts in our country, that is in Laikipia County. And it was this team was headed by Simon Dirago, whom we work with again in the peace department, a young man who has grown in one of our homes and has now become a responsible man who is able to take care of those activities in the peace building. He's so much concerned with the mental health, and he led this team together with some other young men, and also Reverend Phyllis, who is in the leadership department. And because we work as one, she accompanied them, and she became very useful in this mission. And they had a great cultural celebration whereby there were more than 10 pastors in that area, and so many tribes were represented in that area, and they were able to talk on how they need to be at peace, because this is an area where the local people conflict over those who do farming and those who keep animals, and they keep killing one another because those who keep animals at times bring their animals to the farms and they graze over their crops, and a conflict arises, and at times, just competing over those resources that they require. So this team of 4 was able to mobilize and to talk to the people, but unfortunately on their way back, the devil was not happy, because the devil is normally against peace, because his work is to steal, kill, and destroy.
I was extremely thrilled and amazed to see the way Bishop Juma Ferician
Yes, actually, they did it so well because bringing in a team and also coordinating members of the church to come in, and also some friends who are within the country, was quite a great thing. In fact, one of the ladies, we went with her to Burundi, and when this team came, that kind of connection, that power of connection was really at work. She actually invited the team to have dinner in her house.
This
One
Mrs.
of them,
Susan Gishu?
Yes, Mrs. Susan Gishu.
Okay.
And it was quite a good experience. So you see, again, we see the power of connection.
Yes.
Connecting with people from far and connecting with the people from within.
Have you had the time to, since we came back to here, Bonte, Dr. Bonte, Dr. Bonte, the daughter to Bishop Parisian, is the one who was being celebrated, graduating as a medical doctor. Have you had her feedback? What did she think about?
Yeah,
about the
just
celebration?
we've been in communication, especially through the media, and she was quite, positive and so happy about the graduation, and the whole ceremony to her was great. She felt like maybe she didn't even expect it to be the way it was.
Yeah.
Also the father, we have been in communication with the father, who felt like his expectations were met. That's the kind of celebration he wanted.
Isn't it exciting that now we have a medical doctor?
Oh, we are
in
so
GOA,
excited
a
to
young
have.
girl,
Yeah.
Dr. Bonte.
Yes, we are so excited to see this young girl who portrayed even her, potentials and her leadership even from the time she was very young. Even going to the United States when she was around 16 years old. And, even mobilizing partners there when there was a problem in Burundi where the market burnt down, and she would go door to door asking for money for the people, for the repair of those people who went at a loss when they lost everything. Such a small girl at that time, and now becoming a medical doctor. You see, that helping heart is now portrayed now that she has even graduated.
It is actually very exciting to, the story of Bonte is very inspiring.
Sure.
And I'm just surprised that even with all that hard work and effort,
Yeah.
sometimes systems are not fair.
Sure,
That Bonte until now is not employed. She has not gotten a job as a medical doctor after all that hard work, with all the potential that we see. Systems, especially in Africa, are not fair.
They are not
And
fair.
I really look forward to see this girl getting job placement that is rewarding and commensurate to the hard work that she did. And each time I think about the rate of unemployment in the African countries, and I think about how if she went to Burundi, I don't think they can actually be able to remunerate her for all her effort. And hopefully maybe sometime she could find her way to the United States,
Yeah.
or any other country where she can really serve and get even more exposed and get a pay, because that is so important. So that story is very exciting. And going back to the devil right now, the team that went to Laikipia, I learned that Bishop Gaike Charles, our bishop in Laikipia, hosted this event, and that they hosted it together with Gigi Fan, pastor of Gigi Fan. So, and many other churches and ministers came together to talk about this. And I think it was symbolic that different ministers came together, which demonstrated unity, even as they spoke about this in that particular area. And the feedback I got is that the people say that was the first event of that nature. Probably that's why the devil now, talking about the devil, he was not happy about this. And in this car was Reverend Phyllis, who was driving her car, And there was Samuel Cairo, who is our photographer and media director. There was Dilango Simon, who is our mental health champion. And there was Joseph Kago, who is our economic empowerment champion, the GOA Circle and other matters related to the office administration. Now these team members almost lost their lives at Gilgil when the cars got into a head-on collision. I remember when this news came, you were just getting ready to start speaking in the women conference in Arizona. What did you feel receiving news like this, being far away from where you can offer help?
Actually, let me just go back a bit from where I had stopped about, the devil's work being to steal, kill, and destroy. We realized that actually after that powerful meeting that they had, the peaceful meeting they had, pastors, the 10 pastors who are there from different churches. And the good thing with Glory Outreach Assembly is that we don't just work with the churches that are for Glory Outreach Assembly. We had like the Gigi Fund, we had others coming in. Actually, the activity was being held in a Gigi Fund church. So the pastors there were even actually asking for the dates when we can go to all their churches and tell them about the peace, the way it was done, because they had never had it before. So that's why I said that the devil was not happy. And immediately, actually, even before they got home, they had already called the director, who is Grace Wageshi, to give them the dates when they would go back. And now we want to say and declare that we are going to do it, and you go to those places and we are going to preach peace. It doesn't matter how the devil, was trying to discourage through the accident, but we are going to do it. So when this news got to us, it happened in the evening. Well, maybe we were asleep. So when we woke up in the morning is when we got the news. And it was, to me, it really discouraged me, it really destabilized me, because that was the first day we were to have the first day of the conference. And I was supposed to be one of the speakers. And I really, received those news with a lot of, I really felt bad about it. But then, we actually asked, could we change our plane and come back? But the good thing is that, everything was handled so well. That's why it is good to have teams that are working. We had our Bishop Mwai in Naivasha. And then we had our pastor, Reverend Michael, in Gilgil, and the accident took place in between. And the coordination took place so well that, they were able to take care of them from Gilgil, and then Bishop Mwai came in, and by the time they got to the hospital, they were taken so fast because, of the kind of teamwork that we are talking about. When we got to the report that, everything has been taken care of, we really felt so encouraged. And even hearing that our son drove the following day to check on them, it was it gave us a lot of peace. And I was able to continue with ministering in the women conference.
Yes. It was difficult. It was not very easy to imagine that you are over 10,000 miles away. An accident has happened here. It involves a team that we work with, a team that we love, and other than prayer and encouragement through the media, we really didn't know what else to do. But once again, I am very thankful. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the people who have been supporting us, particularly in helping our pastors buy cars, means of transportation. Because right now I'm thinking about the car for Bishop Mwai. He had an accident some time back. and his car was written off. We talked to the friends and partners, and we requested them to help us raise the money to buy Bishop Mwai another car. And we had great generosity coming from our partners in Switzerland, our partners in the United States, our Kenyan people. They all gave generously, and Bishop Moi was able to buy another car. Now, if he did not have that car that he bought, I don't know, our people would have died right there at the scene of accident, because a lot of effort had been done to try and get an ambulance to come from Nairobi to go and pick our people. But it was not successful. There were all excuses. Some ambulances were saying, well, we don't go beyond a certain geographical region. Well, we think that is too far, things like that. So, or we go and we take the people to the nearest hospital there, even if it doesn't. So all those excuses resorted to our people just delaying at the scene of accident, helpless, desperate, until Bishop Moi drove all the way from Naivasha to Gilgil, the scene of accident, and picked them. You can imagine the stress and the anxiety that Bishop Moi and Martha had when driving, knowing that they are going to pick people who are in an accident scene without not knowing how they are. And I do understand that when they got there, they first panicked and wondered, are we really going to be able to carry these people? Because they are bleeding, they don't want anything to happen when they are carrying these people. And took a while before they gained the courage to be able to take them into the car. So those who helped us buy a car for Bishop Moi, we want to thank you. We want to thank you very, very sincerely, because that car helped rescue our team. Now, talking about cars, the car that was involved in an accident, it belongs to Reverend Phyllis, which is used so much for the leadership development department. It is completely written off. It is a car that was manufactured in 2001, and she is the fourth owner of that car. She's the fourth owner, and being the fourth owner, she has owned it for 8 years, completely old and written off, so it cannot come back to the road. Even the insurance company, Lily, could not insure it anything better than third party. So we are appealing to friends and partners to help replace that car, and by giving generously. Who knows? Who knows? It might be as useful as the one that we have seen for Reverend Moi or Bishop Moi and Martha, that really helped. And we are excited about the way the donations are flowing. Those who are from the United States, they can give through GeoUSA. Those who are from Switzerland, they can give through Geo Switzerland. Those who are from Kenya, we have a pay bill that is already circulating, and you could use that number. And cars are so important, not only to those who own them in GOA, but to the entire team, as we can see. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the people who have generously given to buy a car for Discipleship Director, Reverend Fred Kwame. Last week, we saw a lot of generosity flowing into the giving, and by now, we are only about $1,700 to be able to reach the total amount to buy the car for the director of discipleship, and that is going to help him move from one church to the other, supervising, helping the churches, providing oversight, supervising the projects and doing the reports. So carrying his family, sometimes it will be used like the way the car for Reverend Phyllis was being used to transport mental health director, media director, SACCO director, all of them together. So that's the way we use these cars. So thank you to those of you who have given to friend, and if you haven't, there is still an opportunity to complete the amount to buy that car. We are also trusting and believing God for the car for the compassion director. We have not started the process yet, but this is a car that is very old, very, very old. We'll be telling you that story another time. And it has become quite a liability right now. I remember one time she was driving to Tumaini Children's Home, and then the car broke down and she had to come back and get another car. So these cars are actually not luxurious cars. They are ministry cars. These cars are not individually owned. They are used by teams like you have heard. These cars serve sometimes as ambulances. Sometimes they serve as emergencies. It's the only car in the village to latch even women to the maternity. Sometimes they are the cars used to help children here and there. So really, we want to make a strong appeal, especially for the gifts of cars, and thank whoever has done this. So thank you so much, and may the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless you for that.